the creepiest games you shouldn't play. 10 days. Warning. After hearing this tale, you may begin to experience these dreams. The story takes place over the course of 10 dreams, one after the other. Each dream comes with a rule that must be followed. Day 1. You will dream that you are lying in bed. You will notice that a girl is looking through the window. Rule 1. You must let the girl into the room. Day 2. While you are lying in bed, the girl is in your room looking down at you. You cannot see her face as her long hair is covering it. You realize that she is muttering something. Please, please. Rule 2. You must let her come into the bed with you. Day 3. You are lying side by side and can now see her face, which is severely burned and disfigured. Rule 3. Do not cry out when you see her face. Day 4. You get out of bed. The girl suggests that you go to the park. Rule 4. Take the girl to the nearest park without saying a word. Day 5. While walking through the park, you see someone pushing a pram. As you get closer, you realize the mother is a cat, and when you pass, you see the baby is a dog. Rule 5. You must kill one of them. Day 6. While you and the girl are playing in the park, an airship flies by. Rule 6. You must get on the airship. Day 7. The airship is full of people who have heard the same story as you. Rule 7. You must find and take a seat by any means necessary. Day 8. Red and black roses will begin falling down. Rule 8. You must only throw out the black roses. Day 9. The airship will drop you off at the park. Rule 9. You must leave the airship and take the girl back home. Then get into bed. Day 10. You won't know what happens on day 10 unless you obey every single rule. You must tell someone else the story while awake, or you will go back to day 1. No one knows what happens if you don't obey the rules or pass on the story. Perhaps the dream cycle continues, or perhaps the dreams get worse, or even deadly. The Midnight Game. The Midnight Game is an old pagan ritual used mainly as punishment for those who have broken the laws of pagan religion in question. While it was mainly used as a scare tactic to not disobey the gods, there is still a very existent chance of death to those who play the Midnight Game. There is an even higher chance of permanent mental scarring. It is highly recommended that you do not play the Midnight Game. However, for those few thrill seekers searching for a rush, or those delving into obscure occult rituals, these are simple instructions on how to play. Do so at your own risk. Prerequisites. It must be exactly 12 a.m. when you begin performing the ritual. Otherwise, it will not work. Materials. You will need a candle, a piece of paper, a writing implement, matches or a lighter, salt, a wooden door, and at least 1 drop of your own blood. If you are playing with multiple people, they will need their own of the aforementioned materials, and they will have to perform the steps below accordingly. Step 1. Write your full name, first, middle, and last, on the piece of paper. Put at least 1 drop of blood on the paper. Allow it to soak into the paper. Step 2. Turn off all the lights in the place you are doing this. Go to your wooden door and place the paper with your name in front of the door. Now, take the candle and light it. Place it on top of the piece of paper. Step 3. Knock on the door 22 times. The hour must be 12 a.m. upon the final knock. Then open the door, blow out the candle, and close the door. You have just allowed the Midnight Man to enter your house. Step 4. Immediately relight your candle. This is where the game begins. You must now lurk around your now completely dark house with the lit candle in your hand. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs until 3:33 a.m. Should your candle ever go out, it means the Midnight Man is near you. You must relight your candle in the next 10 seconds. If you are not successful in doing this, you must then immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. If you are unsuccessful in both of your actions, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination of your greatest fear and rip out your organs, one by one. You will feel it, but you will be unable to react. If you are successful in creating the circle of salt, you must remain in there until 3:33 a.m. If you are successful in relighting your candle, you may proceed with the game. You must continue till 3:33 a.m. without being attacked by the Midnight Man or being trapped inside the circle of salt to win the midnight game. The Midnight Man will leave your house at 3:33 a.m. and you will be safe to proceed with your morning. Addition. Indications that you are near the Midnight Man will include sudden drop in temperature, seeing a pure black humanoid figure through the darkness, and hearing very soft whispering coming from an indiscernible source. If you experience any of these, it is advised that you leave the area to avoid the Midnight Man. Do not turn on any of the lights during the midnight game. Do not use a flashlight during the midnight game. Do not go to sleep during the midnight game. Do not attempt to use another person's blood on your name. Do not use a lighter as a substitute for a candle. It will not work. And definitely do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man in any way. Even when the game is over, he will always be watching you. Good luck. You are going to need it. Hide and go seek alone. Hide and seek alone. Hitori Kak Urembo is a famous game in Japan and Korea, originating from Japan, where you let a spirit/demon possess a doll and then play a game of hide and seek. The game is necromancy. It is potentially very dangerous and is not good for your sanity. Do not try this game just because you're curious or you want to experience it for yourself. This is a very dangerous, life-risking game. Note, it's best to put your pets outside of your house. There have been reports of dogs barking and cats hissing at nothing. Some even reported their pets behaving strangely after the game. Tools. A stuffed doll with limbs, not a human doll, as there is a huge chance the spirit will not leave it. If you have an animal doll with limbs, it can be used as well, like a teddy bear. Rice. That is enough to be used as stuffing instead of cotton for your doll. The rice is said to attract the doll. Something from your body, usually fingernails for the doll to represent you. This means that if you do something to the doll, the same will happen to yourself. Never use somebody else's body parts. This results in the doll replacing that person instead, and the game will not work correctly. A sharp-edged object. To anger the spirit in the doll by stabbing it. Be sure not to use a knife or scissors, as the doll will stab you with it after it finds you. So use a pencil or needle instead. It is recommended to use a wooden toothpick. Red thread. To sew up the hole you made in the doll, this later symbolizes blood vessels and acts as a restraint later in the game. Salt water or salt. This will be used later in the game to get rid of the spirit in the doll. a bathtub with water. If your home does not have a bathtub, a basin large enough to put the doll in with water in the bathroom works too. A very safe sanctuary or hiding spot when it is the doll's turn to find you. If you have a room with statues and things related to your religion, it is recommended to make it as your hiding spot. Starting ritual. Give your stuffed doll a name. Cut the doll open and take all of its stuffing out. Put the rice in the doll as well as the part of your body. Sew the doll back again with red thread and wrap the remaining string around the whole doll. This is important as it binds the spirit. Prepare the bath or large basin by filling it with water and then wait until 3 a.m. sharp. Some versions say that you do not have to wait until 3 a.m., but this is up to you. Remember to turn off all lights in the house, but leave only the television on. It will change depending on the location of the doll. Once it is 3 a.m., take the doll along with you to the bathroom and repeat. First, tag it is your name 3 times sternly while closing your eyes, and then place the doll in the bath or basin. Walk away to another room, but do not look back. You may see the spirit possessing the doll. If said spirit makes eye contact or notices you looking at it, it may come after you. Count slowly from 1 to 10. After that, turn around and proceed back to the doll. Go close to the doll in the bath or basin and say, "I found you," doll name. Then stab the doll with your weapon or object. After that, close your eyes and repeat, "Now, doll name is it," 3 times. Leave the object inside the doll, then pour some salt water into your mouth. Do not drink the salt water as it protects you from the spirit in the doll, and you will need the remaining salt water to end the ritual. Bring along the cup of salt water and go to your hiding place. It is recommended to keep your doors and windows unlocked in case you unexpectedly run into some trouble, and your friends will be able to help you if they are outside your home. It is recommended to have a cell phone on silent mode and brightness on the lowest level in case of emergencies. Keep the salt water in your mouth at all times. Never attempt to swallow it. Remain silent when you are hiding, as any sounds from you will alert the doll to where you are. If the doll finds you, it will stab you with the object you stabbed it with, and then possibly possess you as well. Keep salt water near at all times. Ending ritual. Ending the ritual is very important, as this will end the game as well. To end the ritual, get out of your hiding spot, find the doll, it might not be in the bathroom, and then drink the salt water. Pour the remaining salt water around the doll in a circle as well. Close your eyes and shout, "I win," 3 times. The spirit in the doll will give up and the game ends. You must dispose of the doll by burying it with salt, otherwise the spirit will attempt to re-enter the doll. Some versions say to put salt in every corner of your house after you bury the doll, especially where the doll has been found, as salt drives away the most malevolent spirits. Warnings: do not play this game for more than 2 hours. The spirit inside the doll will be extremely difficult to remove. Messing around with spirits is very dangerous, so play the game at your own risk. Nobody will be responsible for your own death as you risk your life to play the game. Do not turn around when heading to your hiding place. You might see something very disturbing. Do not play when somebody else is in the house. You must be alone to play the game because the other person might unintentionally be found instead and might be hurt. Do not play with more than one person. It needs to be one person and one person only, because there is a great chance that one of the people are playing could get possessed. The game can be played at 3 a.m. sharp. 3 a.m. is the time when spirits are the most free to move around. However, some versions say you do not need to wait for 3 a.m. Just 12 a.m. is fine. Do not turn on the lights while playing the game. Only leave your television on. Do not fall asleep, no matter how tired, exhausted, or sleepy you are while hiding. The doll will eventually find you and possess your body, as the meaning of this play is, if you find me, you can have my body. Do not attempt to leave the house while the game is still going on. Unless you want to end the ritual and the doll is not in the house, the doll will find you. Do not play this game if you get frightened easily or have a very weak heart. This game is life-threatening and very terrifying to most people who have played it. Better still, don't play this game at all. Do not give the doll your name or the name of one of your acquaintances. You or the acquaintance can be a victim of a curse. Messing around with rituals like this is dangerous. They are serious rituals, not games. If you make a single mistake, then expect to meet a nasty end. You have been warned.